guys, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Degenerate Watch. From time to time these things pop up in our homes, and sometimes they can be emergencies where we may need to get a contractor in, like an electrician, a plumber or a builder, to sort us out and kind of help us in our time of need. But there's nothing worse in these situations when the person you're getting to come and help you is actually trying to take you for a ride, scam you and try and make a lot of money off your back. But sometimes it just takes an honest person to stand up and actually say, I don't think this is right, in order for goodness to prevail. But as we'll see in today's video, which relates to a plumbing contractor, the customer didn't nearly only lose some money, he also nearly lost his home and possibly his life and the life of the guy that was coming to do the work for the contractor. It really does bring home the fact that it's always good to double check who these people are coming to do work. It's always good to check their credentials, and it's even better to get a recommendation off a friend or a neighbour that's actually had work done by these people before. I know sometimes in an emergency it's not always possible, but if you can, it's always good to do a bit of due diligence and make sure that these contractors are up to scratch. So just before we jump into today's video, as always, if you're enjoying the video, please drop a like, it really helps us out here on the channel. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload here on Degenerate Watch. Enjoy the video, guys.
What would have happened to you if you'd done that?
Yeah, probably blown up.
Probably blown up. Coin wants to know, how does such a simple plumbing repair become so potentially dangerous? You know, there are a few things more aggravating than a clogged toilet, and when you need a plumber, you need a plumber.
So our Dan Tilkin looks at why a Salem man thinks a plumber was trying to take advantage of his urgent plumbing problem. Dan?
Well, you see this hinges on a text message from the plumber to his employee about an underground pipe. This is the text message right here. You see it says, break it, right there. The question is, why? You'll see it almost led to disaster. Why do you have a hole in your driveway?
That's a very good question.
Joel Kinney had that situation everyone dreads. Even though he's a contractor himself, he called this company Rooter-Rite, also known as SalemRooter.com, to unblock his sewage line.
They came out, they were supposed to scope it and just run a snake down it and unplug it. And they told us that that they kept breaking blades, that there was some separation in the pipe, there was all sorts of problems.
This was your first day on the job?
Yes, first day I was with them.
And last?
And last.
David Hildago was hired by Rooter-Rite off Craigslist and was left alone at the Kinney's house. David says he was told by this man, Mike Lima, who owns Rooter-Rite Plumbing with his wife Chloe, to dig down to the sewer line.
The first alarm bell that rang for me was that the guy was hired off Craigslist. Now, I'm not saying the guy wasn't capable of doing the job, but if you're running a professional operation, that's not really the way to be doing things. I'm kind of more critical of the owner of the company for hiring in that manner rather than being critical of the guy for showing up to do a day's work.
When I got down to the green pipe, I give him a call. Hey, I'm down to the green pipe. And what do I do from there? He's like, grab the jackhammer and just break it.
So I'm eating lunch on my break, and he comes and knocks on the door, and he says, hey bro, can I talk to you? And he brings me out, and he goes, I think they're scamming you. I'm like, what are you talking about? He told me to break your pipe.
So I tried to break it with the shovel at first, but then he just kept calling, and I was like, this doesn't seem right, you know? Yeah. Why would he keep calling just for a pipe?
David says that's when he got an alarming text message from Mike Lima.
Why does your husband send this text the day Blaber?
I read it to Chloe Lima when she asked to meet us in a park for an interview.
When he not outside, break it. If he asks, tell him it's a bad pipe and it got some break in it. But break it when he not around. Okay, don't say anything until you break it, and you're going to call me and let me know.
Correct. Because in our experience, it's alarming and unsafe to have a homeowner around when a pipe is broken.
Alarming and unsafe?
Correct.
This man's a contractor. He's used to doing things like that. You think he's going to be...
I don't know his personal experience.
So you're saying that you are telling him to break the pipe when the homeowner's not around to save them emotional trauma?
What an odd thing to say.
The pipe needed to be broken in order to access the pipe, to make the repair, and to do further determinations on the sewer line.
You expect me to believe that you're telling your guy to break the pipe when they're not around to save them some sort of emotional trauma?
Well, it's unsafe as well.
How is it unsafe?
Because there could be flying debris, and we're also dealing with sewage.
Well, if there's flying debris, shouldn't your worker have goggles and a hard hat and some sort of safety protection?
Yes, he should.
And remember that green sewer line? Look more closely. A sewer line should have a much greater diameter.
And I'm like, did he tell you to break the gas pipe?
I didn't know that was a gas pipe.
He'd been trying to break our gas pipe. If that would have hit with all the sparks from this river rock, he would have been vaporized.
Yeah, probably blown up.
That was a gas line.
Correct. He was not instructed to remove a gas line.
How was he supposed to know? Did you train him properly?
When he applied for the position, there is questions that are asked.
Oh, the questions must have been name, telephone number, and when can you start?
And he informed us that he was knowledgeable to do the work.
We also wanted to ask about this mugshot. It's Chloe's husband from when he pled guilty in 2007 to insurance fraud in California.
What was he busted for?
I don't know the story. I wasn't there.
You're his wife. You don't know the story?
Okay. I'm going to end the interview now. I appreciate your time very much.
I just think when people see what happened and then find out he had a conviction for defrauding people, they're going to wonder what happened.
I can't thank him enough for stepping up, and he's the hero in this whole thing. We would have never known.
Now, luckily for that homeowner, the guy that was doing the work had a bit of common sense, and he knew something wasn't right, and he called BS on it, and he basically said to him, I think they're ripping you off. And luckily for him, he did do that, because the gas line could have destroyed the home and killed everybody. The whole way in which this went down is wrong. The guy that owns the business hiring a guy off Craigslist and then just sending him out to do a job and then conducting all this sort of investigation into what's wrong over text message. It does clearly show that this guy has no idea how to run a business, and he's just out to rip people off for money. And as you can see, he has a previous conviction for insurance fraud where he was ripping people off before. Another thing that I think is so bad about the whole situation is I know his wife is running the company with him, but it was him giving all these directives to the employees of what to do, and then he sends his wife out like a coward because he won't come and face the music and she has to come and answer for him when he should be the one there. Man up. It's a really bad situation and could cost people either their homes, lives, or thousands and thousands of dollars at the very least. Luckily for everybody, just one day after that news report aired, they actually shut down their website and disabled it. But I did a bit more digging into this, and I realised that this isn't the first time that this has happened involving this guy and his company. And as you can see here, 4 former employees also said they have evidence that he was asking them to break pipes, but one of them saying when you're having to scam people out with thousands of hard-earned dollars, it's truly a bad situation. You have the wife spouting this nonsense about, oh, we're only asking is there anyone around so that we can keep them away from the danger of flying debris and raw sewerage. When clearly the truth is he doesn't want anyone there, so he can get the lads to try cod people by, as you see here, putting roots around the line to make it look like that's what caused the damage. But as you can see here, down below as well, it says that they were often asked to do things they were uncomfortable with, including, bigging up jobs and trying to charge more. Just a typical out-and-out con man operation he was running. So it's not very surprising to us that the Oregon Contractors Construction Board was investigating 2 cases against the company. The CCB's advice to customers was, like I said earlier, get a second opinion, get a recommendation from a friend or neighbour, and check for complaints against contractors. And in Oregon and Washington, you can check a contractor's history, and you can also check for complaints against companies with Oregon's Attorney General as well. In regards to the company itself, I don't think it's still trading anymore. The only thing I could really find was on the Better Business Bureau, and it was confirming that Rooter-Rite had not obtained a necessary licence from the Oregon Construction Contractors Board. So that's interesting, and it may indicate that they're not operating anymore. I also couldn't get onto the website, so it's a good sign, and hopefully that they're not ripping people off anymore. Well, there you go, guys. Another scammer hopefully is bitten the dust there, and always remember, if you are getting some work done, just double check that contractor and make sure everything's legitimate, and ask your friends and neighbours. And just before I wrap things up for this video, I just want to say to keep your eye out on the channel over the next couple of weeks, where we're going to have a new series starting. So we should have the first episode of that series coming very, very soon, and I hope to see you there. We'll also be catching up with one of our frauditor friends very soon, so that's another one to watch out for. To make sure you never miss out on a new video, make sure you're subscribed and make sure you have notifications turned on so that you never miss a new upload here on Degenerate Watch. If you enjoyed the video today, please drop a like, it really helps out the channel. Appreciate all the support, thank you very much. Let us know what you thought of the video and these scammers down in the comments. And until next time, stay safe, take care, peace.